What's going on, everybody? It's Alex, come back here in another video. And today, I realized that I have two divisions left to go in my 3-round division mock series. So today, we're going to be doing the NFC South. It's going to be a great division. I love it. And there's actually a lot of teams on the rise, a lot of teams that are aging as well. So this division, probably in 3-4 years, is going to look totally different than what it is right now. I'm excited to see it, but let's start building the pieces for what is to come. No need to have a long intro. Obviously, if you guys are new, like, comment, subscribe. You know what the deal is. And we're just going to kick right into it. Might as well. Obviously, I'm going to turn the sound off because I do not need to hear that damn ring again. Saved you guys this time. But at number 7, this is, this is a tough one. Because when I just looked over all the contracts and the teams and everything. Obviously, I honestly thought that wide receiver and quarterback and defensive end, as well as actually cornerback, were some targets I wanted to go to for the Falcons. And especially, like, interior defensive line is actually not one. That's for the Buccaneers. But, I'm looking at the guys here. I'm not taking a wide receiver this early. Like, these two guys, Olave, Wilson, excellent targets, right? I have Garrett Wilson above Olave due to drop issues. But, man, Kyle Hamilton is a beast. Y'all think I hate Kyle Hamilton. I have him as my number 6 player in the draft. It's higher than, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the exact same rating as TDN. So let's hold off right there. I have Evan Neal as my number 2 guy in the draft. The thing is that I might actually just want to pull the trigger anyways because he is just phenomenal. I'm not taking a quarterback here. Malik Willis is one guy who I would surely consider here. But if you guys see all the mocks that I do, I don't really like taking these guys. Malik Willis is also only 6'1". I don't know if I really want to take him at this early. This quarterback group is very deep. Look, Graham Mertz, that's kind of weird. I don't know if Graham Mertz is actually going to be in this draft class. But, heck, you could be down here in probably the 5th, 6th round. You get Michael Penix, right? I just don't think that the opportunity cost of taking a quarterback here is the same as going offensive lineman, where you're going to be drafting Daniel Failele probably in the 2nd round, which doesn't even make sense. Evan Neal's a beast. Or even for safety, which is a damn good safety class. Josh Proctor in the 5th round would be excellent. But Kyle Hamilton's a stud. Brandon Joseph, a stud. I don't think you want to get Brandon Joseph. You got that kid. I'm forgetting his actual name. I'm bugging on it right now. But he's been Richie Grant. He's been lighting it up a little bit for you guys. Love his potential right there. So, we could go Kyle Hamilton as well as Richie Grant duo back there. But these games are won in the trenches. We know that Evan Neal is going to actually need some time to develop anyways. And by the time you get a new regime going, I think that he could be, like Laramie Tunsil, a arguable number 1 tackle in the NFL. Worst case scenario, you trade away a guy like Caleb McGarry, right? That might not be great. You have Jalen Mayfield there as well. I think Jalen Mayfield's a pure guard. I think Evan Neal has potential to be a true franchise top 5, top 3 tackle at either position. He has experience everywhere. I love it. And this is not a year, obviously, if you're picking at number 7, in which the Falcons are expected to do much. And he's going to need some time to develop that. Also, might I remind you, there's a team right here that would love Evan Neal. And I just took it from him. You just destroyed the hopes of the Panthers selecting the best tackle in the draft. It's a win-win. So looking at this spot, number 6, I might even just go Kyle Hamilton right here. I just don't care. It might be just best player available, even though his defense doesn't really need much help. Wide receivers, not something I really want to target right now. You see that Terrace Marshall's actually getting his act together, which, if you guys have been following me, you guys know I was for Terrace Marshall if you guys act together because I thought he was a bit lazy, which he has been. Awesome. Love that. So at number 10, I'm not going for a quarterback here. Again, don't really think it's worth this. Malik Willis definitely is up there. Something I would consider. But number 10, you did actually improve overall. It depends on whether CMC was the reason for that or not. We still got guys like PJ Walker, if I'm not mistaken. And to me, I think that doesn't warrant taking a quarterback right here. You do have Sam Darnold for one more year. There will be guys, I know, voice crack, wonderful. There will be guys later on. Malik Willis is certainly tempting, and I would probably pull the trigger if the offensive line wasn't crap. Jackson Kirkland is an excellent offensive lineman, And he might not be my number 2 tackle. I have him as interior offensive lineman. But the more I watch him, the more seasoned he is. I'm thinking that maybe, especially with a guy like Sam Darnold, a more mobile quarterback, he has the ability to be on the outside. He's 6'7", 295, right? He's not going to be the biggest dude in the world, but he is certainly an excellent tackle. And I love his versatility. This team could use him on the inside if he needs time to develop. And that's perfect. It's not like he can get much worse at left tackle. So let's get Jackson Kirkland here. Young, developmental. Also, kind of the Falcons giving them a little bit of the finger, right? Like they're flipping the bird right now, saying like, hey, we got Evan Neal and you got Jackson Kirkland. Again, nothing wrong with Jackson Kirkland. It's just there's a big drop right there, which I already know people are going to be going crazy that I did not go Kyle Hamilton there. Trust me, it was certainly on my mind, even though you don't need him. So at number 19, this is a pretty easy pick for me. It's either Garrett Wilson or Andrew Booth. Again, that second cornerback spot is, it depends on what you think of Paulson at Debo, right? Taylor Linderbaum is an excellent option here as well, but the line is the one thing they don't need. Garrett Wilson is going to transcend this team. I know Marquez Callaway, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's his name. He's been lighting it up in the preseason. I love that. You still need more than him, though, right? You got Michael Thomas. You don't even know if he's going to want to stay. And then you have Callaway, right? You need somebody else. Garrett Wilson, excellent after the catch. Also, if Jameis is your franchise quarterback, he will be able to give it to Garrett Wilson, who is excellent in space. I think this is a home run hit right here. Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave. I love these Ohio State guys to the Saints. It's just fun. I really like it. I would also look maybe at a tight end there. I know Adam Troutman was actually pretty solid, so pick your poison right there. But there's something to be had right there. Malik Willis is still on the board. I might just go balls to the wall. Again, if this happens, it means Malik Willis did not improve at all this year, which, again, if not improving Liberty, there's some questions. Malik Willis might be worth this pick. I know we got Kyle Trask, right? But he's not that great. And that was even coming from me, who I used to like Kyle Trask. Then I found all 22 tape and saw what happens on the other plays that do not make the 15-minute cuts. But at this spot, it could just be best player available. That's just disrespectful, though. I don't think they're probably still going to be wanting to go for Tom Brady to win a couple more Super Bowls. I think he'd probably be around for another 3 years at this point. Kind of crazy to even say something like that. Maybe 2 years. Kenyon Green is so versatile. You see him get Robert Hainsey. It screams to me that they want a guy like Kenyon Green, right? People are like, I got comments saying that I was punching the air when I saw Kenyon Green continue to fall. Kenyon Green's not this bad. He is certainly like a top 25 player in this class, and he has room to grow too. Big fan of him. I think the offensive line could certainly use another piece. Darius Hutcherson is on this squad, but again, that's going to need another 4 years of development. He'll be better. He'd be ready to play probably on his second contract, but I'm just going Kenyon Green. Call me stupid, call me crazy. Again, I'm just not doing it because Malik Willis, it's unrealistic at that point. You could have said, hey, you could have gotten him for the Saints. Yes, but for fuck's sake, he's actually still here. Obviously, this is a little bit of RNG, but crazier things have happened, right? There are crazy things that do happen. Jawan Taylor is supposed to be a top 8 pick, guaranteed, falls to the early second, right? Obviously, we see why, but I could just go Adam Anderson here and just be like, for realism's sake, sure. If I were not to go Malik Willis right here, or if let's just assume Malik Willis was not here, I would consider Desmond Ridder just to keep the team afloat. I would look at Carson Strong, somebody with a lot of potential. I'm not settled on Carson Strong. I've seen one terrible game from him versus Fresno State, and then I've seen a really good one. So I need to see a little more tape right there. My all-22 plug going to be hopefully helping me out with that in the future. I'd be looking at one of these two guys, even Kedon Slovis, man. I think they're all better than the backups there, and they could honestly, I think I would take Carson Strong. But Malik Willis is here. Some BS, sure. But you know what? There has been some crazier things that have happened. We also thought that there was a top 5 lock pretty much on Justin Fields for a little bit, maybe a top 10 lock. And then he does actually break that top 10. Some crazy things happen. So, there's some things that could definitely change the course here. Obviously, at this spot, we do know that Jameis Winston can lead a team. I would personally say keep him there. let him grow, let him develop. Tyke Smith would be fun, but you already have pretty much Tyke Smith in what's his name, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm going to stray away from that. I would look at the interior defensive line here. I'd look for a guy like Haskell Garrett, who is a beast. I think that he is extremely underrated, and I think he should probably be going around this range. Was probably going to this last year. So something definitely to consider at this point. We already got wide receiver there. And tight end, not really worth it at this point. Obviously, you guys know my affinity for Josh Wiley. I don't even think this team needs Josh Wiley at this moment. You could look at a guy like Isaiah Likely to be somebody in the slot, like a big slot, but again, very scheme dependent. Not something I'm going to be wanting to do right now. Corner-wise, there's some really good guys. Martin Emerson, I know this Brochmo's guy. Roger McCreary, going to be able to step in day one and actually provide a very high level of play. So somebody I'm actually going to look for, and I'm probably going to select right now, Roger McCreary, high-level player. And I don't he's a bit older, right? And that's probably why he's going to be around this range. He is not bad at all. Storm Duck, another guy who actually does have some talent. But Martin Emerson, my All-22 plug doesn't allow me to see Martin Emerson yet. We'll be doing a deep tape study on him very soon. Again, interior defensive line, not good enough right now. I'm going Roger McCreary all day. We're going to go Roger McCreary and just light it up. Obviously, Adam Anderson's still on the board. I would take him in a heartbeat. The one thing this team doesn't need right now is edge. So there you go. At this spot, though, I'm looking for wide receiver maybe, and Justin Ross is on the board, somebody who could become a Julio Jones. I'm saying that very lightly. I'm trying very lightly. But I can't take Kingsley and Nagbear here. That's just unfair. That's where it's like, Malik Willis slipping to the second round because teams might not want to go after the quarterbacks this draft because of the depth. Sure. Kingsley falling to like the mid to late second doesn't seem right, even though he's probably around there on my board. Just for realism's sake, I don't think that's fair. I look at a guy like Zach Harrison here. Your edge group can't get worse, and Zach Harrison is an Ohio State defensive end who has a shit ton of potential. But let's continue looking. Obviously, you still have Martin Emerson here, who is pretty talented. I think they have Isaiah Oliver in the slot. If I'm not mistaken, he might be in the slot. I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, I need to, again, do that tape study. But looking at quarterback, we already took him, which is great. Running back is definitely something we'd want to look at. Breece Hall is here, and we're in the late second. To be honest, I think that's worth taking a shot. I think Breece Hall he's my one running back who's worth a first-round pick. So it might drive y'all crazy, but we're going to be going that route. I think I actually used to put Najee Harris to the Falcons in the second round, like that early second pick. So Breece Hall could definitely slip to that spot. That's why I think it's realistic. But this spot here, I'm looking at Haskell Garrett to be a potential big impact player in the interior right there. He might not be like somebody who is like a 360-pounder. Trying to find one actually in here because, again, no one cares about interior defensive linemen until we hit the third round, right? Unless they're a big impact. It's just I don't really see anybody worth replacing Ndamukong Suh. And maybe we could look at corners, though. We could definitely look at it. Storm Duck's here. You could look at Josh Jobe. I think that you probably want somebody with a little more speed, a little more length. I look at Stephen Gilmore as a later round pickup just to, test the water there. Wide receiver, don't need at all, even though I'm still looking at Justin Ross as like, hey, screw it. Somebody who, if we don't want to bring back a guy like Chris Godwin, we don't want to bring back Mike Evans after his next contract, Justin Ross might be worth it. I'm not going to be taking Drake London because I think that's complete BS. I have Drake London as a top 25 player, if I'm not mistaken. You guys can check that video out. I'm going to be going Justin Ross. I think it's worth it. Romeo Doubs could be another dude, but I wasn't a huge fan of Romeo Doubs. Again, third round or like late second might definitely be worth it. Tyke Smith, honestly, probably would have been a better pick right there. We're just going best player available for that team. But at this spot, I'd be looking at a guy like Romeo Doubs. I can't take Drake London because that is complete BS. He's not going to be there in the third round. That it's ridiculous. So at this spot, I'm going to be going Zach Harrison here. Ohio State, lots of upside, and it is possible for him to be there if he continues to look a little bit overweight, which, again, we've seen guys like Mekhi Becton show up 40 pounds overweight. then shed it off. I'm not shed it off, but Evan Neal was the guy I was thinking of. Came in 30 pounds overweight and shed from 380 to 350. That is called drive right there. At this spot, this is a good spot to take a quarterback like Kedon Slovis. Why not? One USC quarterback to another, that's excellent value. I think that's a good spot to be able to just say, hey, we're here. Let's relax. It's a third-round quarterback. Worst case scenario, Kedon doesn't end up being our guy, right? What'd you spend? A third-round pick. Whoop-de-doo, right? The Steelers aren't they're not kicking themselves because they blew a first-round pick on the quarterback. They spent a third, right? It's not that big of a deal. So at this spot, I would look at this is probably where I'm going to get Haskell Garrett here. Even though quarterback's on the board with Phil Dracovic, get Haskell. He's definitely worth it. Speaking of Phil Dracovic, going to the Giants in the third, very interesting. But, I think that a guy like Haskell, he, if I'm not mistaken, had like a 25% pass rush win rate. Tough words. And I think that that's pretty damn awesome and definitely worth taking at that point, especially given the big drop after him. So looking at the Buccaneers here, this is where I could see I think Jalen Catalon actually could be here, to be 100% fair. It's just disgusting to me. I have him as my number 18 player in the draft because I just it might just be like, like your type. It's my type. Isaiah Likely could definitely be a good option here. They do have two tight ends on contract here, OJ Howard as well as Rob Gronkowski. I don't think he's going to replace Rob Gronkowski, but Isaiah Likely could be a really fun gadget weapon here, given the fact that there's a kind of a lack of probably cornerbacks I'd take at the moment. Storm Duck definitely worth consideration. Likely is just fun. He's a fun guy to me, and I really do like him. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the draft. It is not. We got another pick. Holla. But still, there's a lot of targets. Isaiah Likely is going to be a fun guy. He's going to be a fun guy to watch in the league. For the Saints, honestly, I would look at a tight end as well. And I'm seeing if he already got taken. Trey McBride here, definitely worth the pick. It's a little bit disrespectful for him to be down here. He is pretty damn. He's worth a late third, right? Maybe not anything higher. I have Josh Wiley in the first round, but this, to me, honestly feels like a pick where if you do keep Jameis Winston, Josh Wiley's that big play threat. I'm going to be taking him out of respect for my board. And that's going to be the draft, guys. Honestly, I thought it turned out a lot better than I thought. I was like, damn it, I'm going to choose Evan Neal over the quarterback right here, Malik Willis, and people are going to go crazy. And then, well, I guess we'll never know what you guys think. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.